Do a Sam Talk. Hey everybody, it's Sam Atari here, and today we're going to do a Sam Talks about Yoshi Touch and Go! Okay, now I know it's not really that fascinating. So this game was one of the earliest releases for the Nintendo DS. It came out in 2005, at least they say it's one of the earliest releases. I guess when the game came out, or when the system came out itself, this was one of those games that they kind of pushed on the market and said, hey, look at this, look at this. Now the thing is I was really late getting into the Nintendo DS era because my sister, who does not play any video games whatsoever, got a Nintendo DS first, before me, who is the huge gamer, because she wanted Nintendogs and they couldn't get two DSs, and I guess my dad got confused about who wanted what, and he just remembered that she wanted Nintendogs, wanted the Nintendo DS, he got it for her, and I forget what I got. But it doesn't matter because eventually she didn't want it anymore. She got tired of Nintendogs. She gave me her DS, and then I later upgraded to my lovely Nintendo DSi, and now I have, of course, my 3DS. So anyways, so yeah, 2005 is when Yoshi Touch and Go came out, and for those of you that already, know this, I mean, I'll say it again. I am a huge Yoshi fan. Like, Yoshi is my absolute favorite Nintendo character of all time. I even have a Yoshi tattoo. Like, Yoshi is, like, everything to me. So, one day I went on a game binge. No, I literally went on Amazon, and I decided that I was going to look up every Yoshi game that ever existed, and I was going to buy every single one of them that I could. And so I ended up buying, a lot of them, actually. I ended up getting Yoshi Safari, which I couldn't play. Got the original Yoshi's Island, I got Yoshi Touch and Go, I got Yoshi, I forget what it's called, but it's basically the one where you have to move your Game Boy Advance so that Yoshi, like, swings around or whatever, Yoshi Motion something, and yeah, that's basically all I did all day, and then I got Yoshi's Cookie and, just the game Yoshi. I'm trying to think of what else to say. So basically this game, as with all early Nintendo DS games, this game focuses solely on how well you can use your stylus. Like, literally, they were so excited about the touchscreen. That was the main feature on the Nintendo DS, was that it had this touchscreen, and it was oh so smart, and it utilized the microphone. So really, the early games really focused on these new features that the Game Boy Advance did not have, which meant multiplayer with friends, wirelessly, which not a lot of games had that for the GBA. You still had to use a link cable and everything else. So it had the wireless connections, so that you could play multiplayer. It had all these new multiplayer functions, like with chat and everything else. It utilizes the microphone, and then of course you have the touchscreen as well. So in Yoshi Touch and Go, really, it's just a bunch of mini games. And the thing is like you have time attack, marathon. Like, I know that there's a game where Baby Mario's like, swooping down from the sky, and you have to guide him safely to the ground while avoiding enemies and collecting coins. And really, the whole point of the game, after you've unlocked all these mini games, which there's only like 6 or 7 maybe at the most, the only goal of this game is that after you've beaten it, you just keep beating your scores and unlocking new things like different Yoshis and etc. So it's basically just a game where you just improve upon yourself, but ultimately it's just the same game over and over and over and over and over again. Now the thing is I really do like minigames, but I'm not too fond of the stylus and the touchscreens in general, just because a lot of the stuff in the touchscreen, like, for some odd reason, I guess I just suck at it. But this is one of those touchscreens where you draw something and it's not really appearing fully, or it appears in the wrong spot, or you're just like, what? Or you just didn't draw it fast enough, or blah. And the thing that bothers me the most about this game is that you don't control Yoshi directly. He either moves right or left in an auto, basically walking at whatever speed he wants. I don't know, the controls are kind of wonky, because you can make Yoshi jump, you can make Yoshi shoot, but it's very awkward since you're not actually controlling the character itself. Like I said, I really just don't know what to say about this game. It's not really my cup of tea. The thing is it generally got good reviews. It got like a 73%. That's not too bad. 73% out of 100, it's still a passing grade. It's not the best grade ever, but for early DS games, I think that, this was probably one of the best you probably could find. Now, I like that it actually goes off of the Yoshi's Island universe. Now, I think this is before Yoshi's Island DS came out, so, and I think this is what they used for the technology to do Yoshi's Island DS. But yeah, this is before Yoshi's Island DS came out. As far as I know, do not quote me on this, but I believe that this game came first. So they're really just taking things from the Yoshi's Island universe from the actual Super Nintendo game, and they're kind of moving it up and doing that. And then later they came out with Yoshi's Island DS. So basically, you know, for those that really liked Yoshi's Island, the original on the SNES, you know, looking at this and going back to your roots and being like, oh my god, Yoshi's Island, this was probably something really exciting, which is why the game was so well received. But again, people basically just said, oh, this game's just the same thing over and over again, and it kind of gets boring after a while, and it kind of lacks depth, because there's no storyline, there's nothing that really pulls you in. And I agree, I'm a person that I like substance, you know, like, I like there to be depth to things, which means I like storylines, I like a plot, I like all these things, because that's what really gets me involved in the game. And I think my problem is that I played this after I played Yoshi's Island DS, so I was just like, you know, what am I supposed to do? You know, like, I'm just like, this is weird, and yeah, so had I gotten a DS when it first came out, and had I first gotten this game, I probably would have thought it was the bee's knees, like, literally. Now, the thing is I heard the actual jewel of this game, like, the best part about this game is the multiplayer feature. I mean, obviously, there's a game on here where your friends can be the enemies flying above you, and they can basically try and sabotage your whole run. I think that's pretty cool. I like it when there's an enemy and there's a good guy, and I like it when your friends are against you, you know, and I kind of like that, because it adds for friendly hate, is what I like to call it. It really does. It adds for that element of friendly hate where you basically say, fuck you! You know, and it makes things really fun. As long as it doesn't get out of hand, of course. But the thing is I don't have anybody with this game, and I'm not sure if this is like I'm not sure if this is like Mario Party DS, where you can actually send the game to another DS. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but even if it was how it works, like, the controls can be confusing at times, and the thing is I really just don't have very many people that I can tell them to whip out their DS and, hey, let's play Yoshi Touch and Go. I mean, especially with the 3DS out and everything else, like, games like these are pretty much becoming obsolete. You know, like, no one plays them anymore because the graphics are better in newer games now, and yada yada yada, so, I mean, you kind of lose that element that you had before, whereas this was new, it was hot, it was awesome, and everybody wanted to play it. Now it's 2014, which means nobody pretty much wants to play it, except for die-hard fans of this game. So I haven't really gotten very far in this game. I haven't gotten very many good scores. Obviously, this video that's in the video, is not really my playing the game, just because I have no way to capture my gameplay unless I was, like, pointing my iPod or something at my DS, and that does not work very well at all. So yeah, so this was just one of those games where I was excited to have it because I love Yoshi, and I was, like, really super stoked for it, but then when I saw it, I was just like, okay, this is pretty boring. Only because I'd already gotten Yoshi's Island DS, and I guess I expected something so much more. I kind of expected it to be like the motion thing, where you're moving your system, and Yoshi moves according to that, like they did in the GBA. So when I saw Touch and Go, I literally thought it was going to be one of those same games where it's all motion, and you have to use your stylus and stuff, and I basically thought it was going to be one of those things, but in the end, it ended up not being that. It was a bunch of mini-games, but for the money I paid for it, since I did get it off of Amazon and I did get it used, it wasn't a bad deal. So yeah. I'm trying to think of how I would rate this game. If you like mini-games, and you're the type of person that likes building upon your score to get better each time, I would say that this game is for you. I'm personally one of those people that I do like those types of games, but I believe that there's a type of game for everything, and this is just not one of those games that should fit that category. So it's just a matter of taste, really. I think that out of a 10 scale, I'd probably give this game either a 6 or a 7. I would give it above half just because it's Yoshi. And it's not really non-enjoyable. Sometimes when I'm in a competitive mood, I do like to play it. I do pull it out of the recesses of the void, which is my game pocket thing. Occasionally I do pull it out, occasionally I do play it. I'd probably give it more of a 6, because there are very limited games. It is all about just building on the score. I can't really play the multiplayer, which means I'm missing the big part of what this is. So definitely a 6 out of 10 for me. It's not a bad game. It has great music, but after a while it can get really repetitive, really boring, really fast. But I think it'd be a great game for kids. I mean, honestly, every Yoshi game is pretty much great for kids just because it allows them to run around, jump, do whatever. But for kids, I believe that the mini games are pretty much kind of introduce you to the world of gaming and kind of introduce you to controls. Yeah, they're going to lose a lot, but, you know, it'll kind of get them started. So I'd say great for kids, probably not for adults, mostly just because they're going to get bored with it pretty quickly. But if you can find it used for a really cheap price, I'd go ahead and pick it up, especially if you're a die-hard Yoshi fan like me. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I do like the fact that you can get power-ups during the marathon. Mario turns into Super Baby Mario, and that's pretty cool. He moves faster than Yoshi, and he shoots like unlimited stars to get enemies. I also like the fact that you can unlock different Yoshis, like one that has like unlimited eggs, or one that moves faster, and etc. So I do like that. And the color of the Yoshis, I like that it has to do with how many points you got in other minigames. So in a sense, it kind of does strive to make you want to get better scores so that you can have a better time or an easier time with the marathon whenever you do it. So I guess that's a cool element that, you know, they implemented there. What else? What else can I possibly say? Yeah. Other than that, I really have nothing to say about this game because there's really just not that much content to it. So anyways, go ahead and leave a like if you like this video. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've played this game. If you like this game, or if you really just, if you enjoyed it, if you play it with your friends, let me know your scores, let me know your favorite game. You can tell me anything. If you just love Yoshi, let's just geek out about Yoshi. I have no problem with this whatsoever, because I love Yoshi. If I get enough likes, I'll show you my Yoshi tattoo. Okay? But yeah, other than that, like if you like the video, comment if you feel like commenting, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try and do playthroughs, but sometimes I don't always record them. I've been doing a lot of Sam Talks recently, just because I have not wanted to play any video games as of late. And last but not least, follow me online if you want to. Anyways, this is Sam out, and I'll talk to you guys later.